Chapter 6. Today we are going to talk about the perfect tense. In other words, we're going to talk about events in the past. Now, the perfect tense is used mostly for speaking in German. When people talk to each other, they use the perfect tense. It's also sometimes called the colloquial tense. Okay, now let's look how we do that in English. How do we form the perfect tense in English? I use a verb to learn. And in English we say, I have learned, let's see, a lot. So how did we form it in English? We used two verbs. We used the verb to have, and then we used the verb to learn, and we added an ed to it. And the combination of have and learned is called the perfect tense. I have learned. All right, now look how German does it. Again, here we're going to see the resemblance between English and German. We say, ich habe. And then learned, the verb is lernen, remember. To learn would be lernen in German. Now what do? We take the basic word without the ending. We drop off the en. So we have lernen, that's the shell. To that we add a prefix ge. And then we add a t ending. So in English we have no prefix. In English we add an ed, so that's the equivalent of the t in German. However, in German we need to add a ge prefix. So, ich habe gelernt. I have learned. Alright, and this gelernt is called the past participle. You have to remember that because it will keep showing up. So you need to know what a past participle is. Gelernt. Alright, now let's look at a conjugation. You learned the conjugation of habe a long time ago, but I'm sure you still remember it. So, ich habe gelernt. Here's our past participle. Du would be hast, remember that. Du hast gelernt, or past participle. Sie, es hat gelernt. She, it has learned. Alright, wir haben gelernt. Alright, ihr habt gelernt. Und sie haben gelernt. So that's a conjugation in the perfect tense of regular verb lernen. Now what do you notice? You notice that habe changes according to the pronouns, right? Ich habe, du hast, hat. We have different endings depending on the personal pronouns that precede them. But what did you notice about the past participle? It never changes. It always stays the same. No matter how many people we talk about, the past participle does not change. But the haben gets conjugated. So, conjugate haben, form the past participle, and use the same form all the way through the conjugation. Alright, now let's look at some other regular verbs. How would you put the spielen in the present tense? How would we form the past participle? Okay, what is the first thing we do? We drop the en, right? That gives us the base, and then we precede it with a ge and add a t to the ending. So, gespielt. How about tanzen? Again, drop the en ending, replace it with a t, precede it with a ge. And we have getanzt. That's our past participle. So, if you want to say, I have danced, you just say, ich habe getanzt. And that's the way we form the past tense. I have danced. In English, we usually say, I danced. We're going to learn that tense much later. But since Germans use it in all their communications, in all their regular communications, not formal, But regular, between family members, classmates, we use the perfect tense. Ich habe getanzt. Now what happens when we have a verb ending in T or D, like arbeiten, to work, or baden, to take a bath? Again, here we only drop off the N and put a T at the end, because remember, two T's. When we have a T, we need to leave the E in between, and then we preceded with a GE, and we have gearbeitet. So, if you say I have worked, ich habe gearbeitet. There we go, gearbeitet. What about baden? Again, we just drop off the N because we need the E between those two D sounds. So, add the T, preceded with a GE, gebadet. Du hast gebadet. You took a bath. Okay, that's easy, right? Now we have a group of verbs that come from Latin or Greek, and those verbs usually end in I-E-R-E-N, ieren, like studieren or telefonieren, right? When you see one of these, look what you do. We have no prefix, but they end in T, studiert. Und telefoniert. So, if you say, he made a phone call, hat telefoniert. Alright, so remember, regular verbs, GE prefix, drop the EN ending, replace it with a T. If you have a verb stem ending in T, you insert an E before the T ending, preceded with a GE prefix. If you have verbs, non-Germanic verbs, which end in ieren, you drop the EN, replace it with a T, however there is no GE prefix. Alright.